Oh, happy, blessed, most amazing day to you and all across the world. This one right here, man. I gotta say it. I had a great run, I had a great jog, and I had a deep conversation with a friend of mine, and uh, maybe we could figure this out together. Cause it was like one thing he told me. He was like, "Man, I'm always working. I'm always working," and I admire his hard work. But let's face it, working a regular 9 to 5 job, a trade, you have to be like master of craft to be in that field, you know. And with a job, 9 to 5 job, it's like no matter how much you work, you're gonna get paid the same as the next man, you know. So this one is like you have to be willing to take the time. I like that. I think that's what we're gonna call this one. You gotta be willing to take the time because there's never going to be a perfect time. Never. Not the way society's structure is built. It's like there isn't going to be a time. And I'm like, bro, you look, I understand. I told him, look, I admire your hard work, but you're always working, right? You're always working. Bro, you're going to retire when you're 60, man. And he's like, man, at the rate that I'm going, that it sounds like it. It sounds like, and I'm like, oh man. So, chopping it up, I put him on some books. He's like, man, bro, especially when they're free from the library. He's like, man, I'm gonna get him, bro. I'm gonna get him because you have such, he was like, man, you got a vast source of knowledge, and I'm like, bro, I'm just trying to pay it forward. I'm just trying to give it back, bro. I'm just trying to give what I learned because I'm saying we didn't know this growing up. I wish we did. Imagine that everybody's life choices would have been a lot different. You know what I'm saying? Especially, I watched a movie about oppression the other day, and it was crazy because they talked about there ain't a lot of jobs out here. So they resort to selling drugs. Now think about it. There are communities like that where there's not a lot of jobs out there. But then the only thing they know besides go get a job, the acronym the job is just over broke. And if I go get a job, then you go sell drugs. Now imagine if someone taught them, screw a job, bro, screw the streets, man. That's not gonna lead you anywhere. Let's teach you passive income. Let's teach you residual income. Where do you think the mindset's gonna be at? Knowing the way out, the keys. You know what I mean? The keys to getting out. And it's like that's the move. You feel me? Because there's a lot of communities like that are in a lot of oppression because there's not a lot of jobs out there. That's crazy. Now, saying knowledge, wisdom, understanding, knowledge is power. And when you start to give back that, bro, it's like it's a blessing. It's a blessing. That's how I always look at it. That's how I've been looking at it. Like I'm all about blessing other people because we are creating our own economy this way. And it's crazy because there was this magazine that I was reading. I think it was Forbes. I think it was Forbes and it was like a April edition, I believe so. And it talked about what deflated inflation, like what for a good period of time, what stopped inflation, and it was capitalist. It was capitalist. It wasn't the banks. It wasn't. It wasn't. The jobs. You feel me? It was the capitalists. Now you gotta understand what that is. Like, listen, when you're an entrepreneur, you know exactly what you're doing and how you're gonna do it. You know, You know exactly what you have access to, what you are capable of doing. And when you do, it takes things to a whole nother level. Now let me tell you, you know, just so you can know how I stumbled across this, like everything. So I had, sorry, you know that routine. So I had a horrible separation, right, in 2012. From that point, I was all about personal development, you know, and I think I was at 21, 22, you know, and I wish the information, all this information, would have just got to me at a much faster pace, at a much earlier age than 2022. And and it sucked because, you know, it when you're accustomed to living with someone, you like you guys are one. So now you're separating, like, man, these traits ain't me, they're not me, this is not who I am. I was only kind of this way because of, you know. So you start to remove everything that's not you and start to, you know, find yourself. You start to soul search, you start to really develop yourself and who you want to be, how you want to be. So then through grapevine through the grapevine, I came across The Secret, the Law of Attraction. I didn't read the book. I watched the documentary, and it was power. It was just as powerful. I know the book goes more in detail, more in depth. A lot of people have told me that's definitely on the to-do list of reading. But even at that time, man, that video was so impactful because then I started. I was on a whole different path, whole different direction, and I was just like, that's what I was focused on: personal development, exactly, putting it everything into effect, and it worked. Need I remind that at the time I was just focused on getting a good job and climbing that financial ladder, and that's what it was. And it went from, it was wonderful, it was a phenomenon, it was magnificent, because I started from $15 an hour, 16, 17, 18, highest I've ever been paid, you know. So I was like, damn, this shit works. And each job I was at, I was only in a short period of time, between 6 months to a year almost to 2 months. I mean, sorry, a year to almost 2 years, you know, and it just changed everything. So I'm like, this is real. You know, and going into depth, how did our wavelengths, our energy, our frequency, our intentions, our emotions, our desires, everything. So fast forward, I'm earning $18 an hour. I got two jobs, and I'm a full-time father. And it was just like I had no time for my baby girl. You know, my schedule was drop her off at school, go to work, get off work, pick her up, spend what little time I had with her, then go to work again, come back and do it all over again. My daughter was like, Dad, you know, why are you always working? You're working so hard, you know, like, you know, and you know, we still don't have money, you know, like, like, it's crazy. You know, you're earning $18 here, $18 there, and the money still ain't there. And even the child sees it, you know, that's powerful. So check it out. The law of intention, right? Because at that point in my life, in my head, outside of a 9 to 5 job, I want to be an artist, you know, a musician, even at that. You know what I'm saying? In music, an artist in music, we'll say that. You know, I can't play instruments, so I can't say musician, but I'm very good vocally. But so already there, I have something that I'm like, you know, have worked for so many years, but never really got off the ground. Why? Because what I tell a lot of people is, like, for independent artists, it's like we need that capital, that really financial structure to help us push through everything that we need. So my mindset was already, I want more out of life than just this 9 to 5. So the law of attraction, intention, you know, one of my supervisors, he was my boy. He's one of my closest guys, like, cool, man, down to earth. And he comes up to me one day. We're at work, and he's like, "Yo, bro, we're going to this reggaeton yacht party, man. Man, let's come kick it. Come kick it, man. Have some fun." I'm like, "Man, you guys have fun, bro. Go ahead, take a lot of videos, take pictures, and this and that." If but anything what surprised me, was what came out of his mouth. Instead of saying, "Yeah, for sure, yeah, all right, for sure, man," he said, "Bro, my dude, he's like, you're always fucking working, G. You always working, man." I'm like, "Man, why don't you come out, bro? Have some fun, dude. I see it, bro. You're under a lot of pressure, trying to get these hours and shit." I'm like, "Man," and I promise you, and I tell everybody, that wants to get to know me and where I'm coming from and where I've been. What he said weighed heavily on me. It really did. I couldn't even sleep that night. That I was like, you know what? Fuck this. I'm going. So, called off that weekend. Went. I had one of the greatest times of my life. The city, the ocean, the lake. It was beautiful. The sun was hitting the city and the lake so beautifully. It was just, everything was shining. Remarkable. We was in that wavy, you know what I'm saying? But then this is the amazing thing that occurred, was not just that I had a great time, but then I got connected with some amazing people there. I got connected with some amazing people doing some big things. And I was like, man, we connected. The following week, they showed me what they had going on, and I went all in. I went all in with no hesitation, because I already knew, being in the industry, warehouse industry, for almost 11 years, has got me nowhere. No matter how much I've climbed the financial ladder, you know what I'm saying, it's gotten me nowhere. I've worked in other places like Burger King, KFC. I've worked at restaurants like Cheddar's Casual Cafe. Like, I'm almost done it all. You know what I'm saying? And I tell you, what I understood was what passive income, what residual income can do for you, what it could do for me, for our generations to come. You know what I'm saying? And that was the crazy thing, because then I started reading. Like I said, I didn't start reading till the June of last year, and everything that I've read was so impactful, so powerful, changed everything. Everything. It has been the best decision of my life, that what I got involved, what I allowed my world to open up to, because then I understood what financial freedom really is, where it can lead to, and how it can be obtained. And it can be obtained by anybody and everybody, if they just truly believe. But see, a lot of people, they only know a certain way growing up, and that what is, I'm telling you, it takes things to a whole new level. And my daughter sees it. Like I said, I can have intellectual conversations with her. You ask her how to make residuals, she'll tell you multiple ways at 11 years old. Now it's just at her age, teaching her money management. You know what I'm saying? This is what it's all about. Creating our own economy, really breaking the shackles of financial oppression. And it's possible. Believe me, it's possible for you and everyone else. It's just being the light. You got to be the light. You show them that it's possible for you, and then you can show them it's possible for them. It's educating them. It's like I always say it a lot, pass it on, paying it forward. Because why be greedy and hold on to such powerful information? Remember, these are how the wealthy stay rich, how successful people stay successful, how they break away from the norm that is so called the norm. And you know what, that this way of lifestyle should be the norm, of financial freedom should be the norm. You know what I'm saying? But I'm grateful, I'm thankful, I hope this was powerful, impactful for you guys. I love y'all, I'm talking about all across the world. Please like, share, subscribe, Help your boy out, man. Let's spread the word. Keep it pushing, man. I love y'all. Peace.